started here. So this conversation is how Cybrary thinks about crowdsourcing the cybersecurity talent gap that we have. So the concepts of this conversation come from what Airbnb, Uber, and Amazon teach us about solving problems at scale. Because that's truly what we're trying to do here at Cybrary, is we're trying to solve a problem at scale. We can't take individual problems and put a counselor on them and show somebody a learning path one person at a time. That wouldn't obviously solve the gap at scale. So let's jump into this presentation. So first of all, why do we have a talent gap in cybersecurity? Well, we have a talent gap for one primary reason, and that primary reason is friction. It's super hard to not only enter the industry, but it's super difficult to skill up on a regular basis, and that's silly. I mean, we need people with continually evolving skill sets, because it's one of the most rapidly changing industries, obviously, in all of tech, cybersecurity. I mean, zero-day exploits tell you right there how quickly this industry moves. So as skills evolve, people's skill sets need to keep up with those. And if you're paying for a 1-week course on, let's say, malware analysis, $6,000, that's one singular skill, and that's probably the only class that person on your team is going to take throughout the year. That's silly. That's no way to create excellent and evolving cyber and IT professionals. So the friction to get into and skill up was the primary cause of our talent gap. Now, in addition to that, we have a little bit of a broken system for hiring people. Certification has always been the best way to hire people. Answer a couple of questions, multiple choice questions on a test, and yep, you're A+ certified. You are so good to go in this company, and that also seems kind of ridiculous. So let's go a little further here and talk about how we look at, or some lessons that we can learn from on how to solve this problem at scale. So I'm going to break this down a little bit here. This is a LinkedIn job description. LinkedIn job descriptions typically have a set of skills that they're looking for in a candidate, and those set of skills typically come from the technology stack that's proprietary to the organization that's doing the hiring. So if you use Alien Vault, then you use Alien Vault, and we would like somebody who has skill using that Alien Vault threat analysis platform. So it's 2017, people. There's better ways to get people to match that job description right there. And there are also better ways to figure out what somebody knows. One's LinkedIn profile is a statement of what I know, but it's arbitrary. I could say that I'm a SQL injection ninja on my LinkedIn profile, and I guarantee you guys would stamp me for that, right? You give me the thumbs up, the endorsement. I don't know the first thing about SQL injection. And George would too, but I don't know SQL injection. So there are technologies out there that people can use to prove how well they know something. Think about a capture the flag environment, right? You go into a capture the flag environment. I'm doing a crypto challenge. I'm going to take that crypto challenge and I get a 75% on that crypto challenge. Well, that puts me in the 50th percentile of people who have taken that CTF. So the technologies exist for getting transparency on how good somebody is at a particular skill. So Uber, Airbnb, and Amazon may have the answer to this problem, this talent gap problem. Uber solved a big problem, a pretty stinky taxi cab industry, by removing the friction. So we talked about high friction. I have to pay $6,000 for a 1-week class to skill up one skill. Let's remove that friction. Perhaps there's a way to do that. Uber did it. Now all of a sudden, I spoke to somebody here on Monday morning that is a cybersecurity professional, and they live in like Reston, and they drove in here. They said that they made $20 on the ride in, and I said, how? And they said, I just turned on Uber and I picked somebody up on my way in here. Brilliant. She's a driver now. She would never have been a taxi cab driver ever before, but Uber removed the friction. And it caused a 50x greater market of drivers, which causes more entrants like me to start using taxi cab services. I was a snob to those. I would never use them before, to regular taxi cabs. Now it's like the easiest and most wonderful thing in the world. I use Lyft, technically. We talked about that. But it's the easiest thing in the world. Remove the friction. Remove the friction. Airbnb, crowdsourcing. Airbnb and crowdsourcing. Airbnb does not own any hotel rooms, yet they are the largest provider of overnight accommodations on the planet. But they don't own any buildings. So Airbnb uses crowdsourcing as their inventory. They allow me or anyone here to put your place up for rent, or if you are maybe a wine sommelier, you can set up to do an experience on Airbnb and people will pay you to go and take them on a wine tasting. And so they have experiences and accommodations that are all entirely crowdsourced. So if you kind of compare this to like the Marriott model, Marriott has to go and do a lot of analysis and research on a region. Marriott has to then go and plan and prepare and build a building in most cases, and they have to hire a huge staff. And so that's what it takes to move into a new market, to solve a new problem for a new set of people. Whereas Airbnb doesn't have to. They create the Rest in Virginia page on their site. And then accommodations go up, experiences go up, restaurants go up. That's it. There was no planning, there was no building, there was no hiring. Crowdsourcing. Data. Amazon. Amazon's great with data. We all know that. We see the funny things pop up that we're like, wow, how'd you know that? So Amazon, what do they teach us about using data to create handcrafted, customized experiences? Well, the very simple answer is the more that you use it over time, the more it knows about you, just like Facebook. And the more that people like you, that show similarities to you, use it, the more they also know about you. And so Amazon uses this data to craft habitually used and better predictable experiences that guide you in the direction that you already want to go in. You may not even know you want to go in that direction, but they're using the data to guide you to go in the direction that's best for you. Now we know this. So now that we know this, how do we apply this to tech careers, to cybersecurity career development? And how do we do that at scale? Step one would be to scale like Uber. Remove the friction. Remove the friction. Allow anybody to enter the cybersecurity market. Anyone. It's kind of crazy to think that, but think about all the use cases that are out there that are unserved right now. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I used to be in IT 5-7 years ago. What are my other solutions prior to Cybrary? What are my best solutions for getting back into maybe a cyber career? A degree? 50 grand, setting my family back, may not be right for me. An expensive course, 1-week course at I don't want to say their name, an expensive training course somewhere that starts with an S. So scale like Uber, remove the friction. Information should be free. That's the hacker creed. Information should be free. So let's create a platform where anyone can skill up, anyone can learn at no cost, no setback to their family. Step two, do inventory like Airbnb. Pretty simple. Crowdsource your inventory. As a training company, the training company who's providing cybersecurity courses has to go and find an instructor, pay that instructor, and then put them in a classroom. Well, if the problem there, the key there is to finding the instructors, and you have a platform that has 1.3 million users and growing faster every week, the instructors are in there. Just pull them out. Give them incentive. Give them a reason to put their inventory up on a platform. So do inventory like Airbnb. Allow the companies that are creating the learning technologies like practice labs, capture the flags, cyber ranges, and so on. Allow them to plug in. Why not? It's going to create a better solution. Not just one, all of them. Finally, guide like Amazon. Use the data. What data? What data? Leverage data such as an experienced learner who knows what the heck they're doing and they are plowing through new coursework because they're here in their career and they want to be a manager. They're showing signs. They're giving data to this platform. We can then use that to leverage it for other people. How about the companies, the managers that are using our platform, that are assigning training to their staff? And this is what it takes to be an incident responder at our company. This is how my team, I'm the manager, this is how my team scores on those skills. That's data that's on this platform. If you want to be an incident responder at that company and you live in that region, here you go. Here's your guidebook. These are the skills that this manager is assigned to their team. This is how they score. Learn those same skills, score better than the people on those teams or on that team. So guide like Amazon, leverage the data of the platform. All right. So finally, bringing it all together, putting it together. 3 sides to this multi-sided platform that is Cybrary. The 3 sides are obviously the open user base of 1.3 million registered users. The second side is the companies that are creating the learning and assessment technologies. They're creating hands-on labs, they're creating capture the flags, they're creating cyber ranges. They obviously want distribution. Their job is to sell their products. We have distribution. We have a growing user base. And then finally, the cyber and IT companies that need to find and discover new talent need to have a meaningful role on this platform. So they come in and they can create courses and teach people how to use the Alien Vault threat intelligence platform. There's never been a place on this planet where people can go get product-based training in one collective spot. There is now. So these companies are training people how to use their products. They're training their own employees. They're giving data back into this platform. They are getting exposure to these learning and technology assessment companies. And they are in front of a scaling user base that they could potentially hire from. That is the multi-sided platform, and that is the way that I feel, or that Cybrary feels, that this is how you address a massive talent gap at scale. I'll take questions.
Good to go? Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the president and co-founder of Cybrary, and I wanted to take a moment to say that Cybrary has linked up with MCPA, and we are providing our training platform to the MCPA to use in particular for transitioning veterans who are trying to get into the cybersecurity workforce. As many of you may know, Cybrary has a massive catalog of IT and cybersecurity learning, and this training is then able to be packaged together to allow managers or people who can guide a transitioning veteran from maybe 0 skill sets to the necessary skill sets that it takes to get into the industry. And so that's what Cybrary's platform is doing right now for the MCPA and why we're so excited about this partnership.